Plan with Hunter Hughes. I'm Lucas Kinsey. This is our last episode of the year as the Buffs will wrap up 2017 this Saturday at home against Western New Mexico. WT was on the road last Saturday and played Angelo State, lost that game on the road. So with the loss, it takes the overall record to 3 wins and 7 losses for WT. Again, this Saturday, the Buffs back at home. They're at Kimbrough Stadium. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff for WT as it's senior day, and again, they'll be taking on Western New Mexico. With that, let's welcome in our head coach, Hunter Hughes. Coach,
thank you, Lucas.
Thanks for joining me.
Yep.
Okay. So, Coach, you go back and we recap last Saturday's loss to Angelo State. And I told you in post-game, first of all, I appreciate you coming out and joining me after what was a tough loss. But we talked about it, and it seemed like the effort was there, even through 4 quarters. The execution just was not. And there were a lot of things that we saw that we hadn't seen previously. 11 penalties, which was the most that the Buffs had all season. Offensively, just never gotten a flow. And then the turnovers. There were 5 turnovers. So Angelo State, to their credit, a talented team, turned our mistakes into productivity. But talk about the loss and just some of the things that you saw.
Well, I think the penalties, number one, is frustration, and it probably stems from me riding the referees throughout the year because things that we send in plays every week and they send them back, and they disagrees or plays that they missed, and I'm frustrated about that.
Sure.
And I don't know if that bulls over into week to week. I don't think it does, but you never know. And the frustration that we're on, we're giving the effort, we're doing the best we can, and we're getting things. Things aren't going our way, so you get a little frustrated. But we had some uncharacteristic things happen. Guys are trying to make plays.
Josh does an unbelievable job finding those holes, and he did that tonight, and we're very fortunate to have him. But he, just like all of our seniors, he's really committed to what we've done, and I know that he'll be trying to do the same thing come next week.
Well, and then the receivers, they've been clicking. They've been doing real well, and then me, I just go off of my line, honestly. My line's
this next week, so we're excited about that, but excited about our win and being 5-2 at home. Jake, he's really comfortable with what we're doing in our system. He made some great
little things just started adding up and adding up. So it's frustrating, and we're frustrated. But like I said, the effort was there. I don't think the guys have given up. It just we're playing a lot of young guys. If you go through and you look at who had stats and who played, it's a lot of guys that you did not see in the first 4 or 5 games of the year.
Jared Shirley was one of them, wide receiver. Hadn't seen him all year, and of course he was in because the wide receiver core is depleted.
Yeah, absolutely. And we started our 4th and 5th safety because our top 3 safeties were out. So, we coach them up, but it's the experience level that they don't have that the other guys have of actually playing in games and seeing the speed and how everything developed so quickly that it caught us, and we try to keep the game plan as simple as possible, and that helped Angelo State because when you got to keep it simple so our players can play fast, they can pick up on that.
Yeah. Well, after Saturday, Coach Hughes will have wrapped up year 1 in terms of head coach at West Texas A&M, first year as a head coach overall. And I just wanted to ask you a couple of things. One is things that you've learned this year as a head coach, and then secondly, Coach, is things that you want to build on as after this Saturday you'll very quickly move into an off season with recruiting and kind of start the whole process over for year 2.
Well, I think the first thing is we've got to get stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, we have got to get our players, and in the weight room it's not only physically stronger but mentally stronger, and we got to challenge our guys in the weight room to do the things that they need to do, and we got to push them. We're going to continue to push them. We're going to continue to hold them accountable. Because I felt like we were pushed around in every game this year. I mean, I felt like that physically we were not up to par with where we need to be to compete in this conference. And
especially with a style that you want to play, not only offensively but defensively.
Exactly. So, I'm proud of the way the guys played. I'm glad they have not quit, and they're not going to quit. And, we have to get that mental toughness so the next guy up has got to come in, and so we don't have these issues in the future. So, as far as recruiting, I hate to, and I don't want to say that, I inherited these guys. These are my guys.
Sure.
These are the guys that went through spring and stayed there and stayed with us. And we hit some attrition with injuries and some issues that we had to address to get this team better. And sometimes there is addition by subtraction. And I'm looking forward to the off season and looking forward to go out recruiting. I think got a great staff that's going to go out and go get the best players and student athletes and character guys for West Texas.
Yeah. Well, on Saturday, this Saturday, again, it's senior day for West Texas A&M. The kickoff is at 1 p.m., but there will be 10 seniors that will be honored, and I wanted to take this time to mention those guys and say a few words about the seniors. Defensively, there's a trio of linebackers that have been outstanding all season. You got Carter James, Trevor Michael Bust, and also Dalen Young. Carter James from Justin, Texas, just one tackle off from 300 for his career. Michael Bust, one of my favorite players, a true tough guy. I mean, just an old school football player that I know loved playing for Coach Hughes this season. And Trevor is the leading tackler this year for West Texas A&M. And then Dalen, Division II preseason All-American, maybe the most talented guy in terms of just his skill set that he has defensively. So they've been outstanding. Defensive tackle Solomon Purdue, also a senior, has done a great job for WT. And then also a linebacker, Isaac Watson from Portland, Oregon, is a senior. You flip it over to the offensive side, John Cummings, the punter, John Cummings is a senior from Plano, Texas, has done a great job, leader in the Lone Star Conference in punting average. Two offensive linemen are seniors, Dylan Vaughn, obviously for WT, 32 games, 19 starts for Dylan. He's been great in his career, played some tight end as well for the Buffaloes. And then Moses Mondesir out of Houston, Texas, also a senior. Tight ends, two more guys to recognize, and that's Jaquarius Daniels and then also Junior Palme. Junior, one of my favorite players in the last 2 years, and Junior has 11 touchdown catches in 2 seasons, a great guy off the field as well. So, Hunter, is your first year as head coach, and a lot of times when a new coach comes into a program and you've got seniors, sometimes they don't stick around. It's a new system, a lot of new things to learn. But talk about these 10 young men who did stick it out and play this year for you.
Well, first, it just shows that we have a young squad. Okay, we only have 10 seniors.
Yeah.
That's something we got to improve on and retain our players and keep them here. These 10, they did not have the season that they wanted as a team, and I didn't have the season we wanted either. So I mean, none of us are very satisfied with the way it is, but we can finish on a strong note. And I think the biggest thing about these 10 seniors is they went through the first spring ball, and a lot of guys left, and they stuck it out. And they saw what could happen here, and they liked what we were doing and liked how we approached it, not only on the field but off the field. I've heard more compliments from these guys. One of these guys on this list had a 2.1 GPA, and he has already got it up to a 2.6 GPA, and he credits the way we handle study hall and do things and are planning for that. So that's what makes me happy. And
you've seen him mature as young.
Absolutely, and that's our job as a coach. It's not just to win games, but it's to make young adults into adults and get them prepared for the real life. And these 10 guys are when we start turning this thing around, this is the foundation of what we started. And these are the guys that stuck it out and fought through it, and that's something that hopefully they'll go through life and say, well, if I made it through spring with Hughes, then I can do anything.
Sure.
And that's what I want them to do.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of them, and again, I'm disappointed that the year's gone the way it has, but I'm very proud of what they've done and who they've become throughout the process of this year.
Yeah, well, the 10 seniors, good luck this Saturday. Go out and have a great game, guys. So the opponent for this Saturday is Western New Mexico. They have the identical record as WT, 3 wins, 7 losses. The Mustangs, of course, last year, we remember we went to Silver City and had a wild game in overtime with the Buffs won 37-30. They had to score 2 touchdowns in regulation in the last 2 minutes just to send it to overtime. Who knows what's going to happen? There's been some close games at Kimbrough this year. But this team for Western New Mexico, Coach Javia Hall, very talented quarterback. He's thrown for a lot of passing yards, and really that's what their team is known for. They average nearly 300 yards through the air. They give up a lot of points defensively. I think they're giving up around 36 points per game. But it's a team that you really, with a 3-7 record, you can't underestimate at all. They beat Kingsville last week, 35-23.
Well, I'm kind of used to them playing in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, and we played them every year there. Adam Clark does a great job with what they do in their scheme, and they put a lot of pressure on the perimeter with their passing game. They like to hit the quick game with those guys, receivers on the edge, and they'll throw it to the back quite a bit. The back's the 3rd leading receiver on the team, so we got our hands full, with us defensively against our offense. And Hall is an outstanding quarterback. He is. Delivers the ball well, puts it where it needs to be, and where their receivers have a chance to get it. for us offensively, the same thing's got to go. We have to establish a run and, work to continue to finish drives. And, that's you look back on everything, it's turnovers and the inability to finish drives, which has hurt us on offense.
Sure. Well, Saturday again, game time is 1 p.m. for Senior Day, West Texas A&M against Western New Mexico. And also want to mention, Buff Nation, we'll have that game for you on Lone Star 98.7. We will also have this weekend a couple basketball games. The men's basketball season is already getting started, and so West Texas A&M will have Friday night against Adams State at 7 o'clock, and then on Saturday we'll have some football for you first, and then we'll follow that up after the football game, 6 p.m. West Texas A&M, Tom Brown and his team will take on Western State. And with all the different things going on, the different sports at this point in the season, football and volleyball and cross country and soccer, you can make sure to go to visit GoBuffsGo.com, as you can get the stats and the highlights and the videos. It's all right there, GoBuffsGo.com. It's been a pleasure bringing you the game plan all year, and want to thank our co-producers of the show, James Hadnot and also Angelo Pontello, for doing a great job for us all year. Coach, thanks to you for being with us, and we look forward to doing this again next season. And
I hope so.
Well, yeah, and we want to say good luck on Saturday against the Mustangs.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Lucas, for all your help.
Yeah. So that'll do it for